When the pandemic first started in Italy, the lockdown, I was out to buy eggs, milk and bread for breakfast, and the shopkeeper wouldn't even look me in the eye, like I was invisible. And also there was this one incident. I was out with my girlfriend and her mom, and some guys on a motorbike shouted Corona. Now, I usually focus on the better things in life, like I think positive mindset is really important.
I think it was just the way people, not necessarily people being racist to you very directly. I think it was just, sometimes it's just their mannerisms, or just, saying something like, oh, your English is so good, how is that even possible?
The only discrimination I faced was at school, right after my family arrived in Canada from Eastern Europe in 1970 due to my poor English. Some kids at school even called me a DP, which I didn't know what it meant, but it's short for deported person.
In my own country, I am treated as an outsider and I am attacked because of my looks. I tell myself that they are ignorant and not educated. One incident that I would like to recall that happened in my office, my colleague called me chinky and asked me why my eyes are small. I replied to him, you should ask God, because I don't have the answer to tell them. And also there was one more guy, an old man, who asked me if we have a big building, a staircase, or electricity in my place where I come from. So they think that we come from a jungle where there's nothing, and I consider them as an ignorant.
Well, I haven't faced racism or discrimination literally per se in my life, but I have some experience in being bullied in my school days.
Multiple times I would be asked if I'm from Nepal. Another incident happened in the month of March. I went out for grocery shopping with a friend, and a man probably in his 40s said, "Coronavirus aa gaya," as we walked past him.
Yes, I think I most definitely have. Coming from the south, living in the north, having a dark complexion, I think during school times there have been moments, even probably during football as well sometimes. I think it's evident that it's heightened up because of the backlash that we've been facing in recent times. Though I haven't faced racism in quite a while now, I think it's just because of how I show myself, or how others perceive me as a student.
Somewhere on a downtown is the place I live. Everyone can see me, I can see everyone. As you're on the roadside, everything is visible. You can see the things we don't both like. There was a moment when our hearts beating fast. Seems like no one cares, no one bothers them. We need to love. We need to love. We need to love. We need to love.
Our culture, our land, and where we come from, and make them aware and known that we are Indians and our land is a part of India.
I guess I also got to a point where I realized that it's also because of their lack of knowledge, or they just don't know. It's just how what have they been taught in their education systems, and they're not necessarily surrounded by many people of color. So I think I just got to a place where I just kind of understood where they were coming from, but also just chose to forgive, because there's no point carrying that stuff around. It's just not it's not healthy for relationships and friendships and just interacting with people.
I came from a small town where the preacher or a guide taught us what is love, and everyone seems to know. It's around the roadside, everything is visible. Where there is chaos, we don't both lie. There was a moment when we questioned where is love. Seems like no one cares, no one bothered them. We need to love. 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 We need to love.
It was not such a big thing to be traumatized by, but at that point I discovered music and I got into music. I started focusing my energy into playing guitar and jamming with my friends and making music.
I overcame my early struggles at school by studying hard. I also watched a lot of TV to pick up the language, and I joined every possible sports team just to fast track on my friends, and that's what happens on teams. You know, they have your back basically, so that helped.
I think it's all about your presence of mind and how you see others, and you know that they do not know what they're saying, or they haven't been given the right heart or the right upbringing to actually be sensitive and empathetic to other forms of races, religions, or even people from different countries. And I think that plays a very vital role in me and my mindset in the way I think about it. What would you want to tell people who belong to the same religion, ethnic groups, races? I know a lot of my friends face this, and I definitely know that it's very difficult for some people because they're really sensitive, and the best way to tackle it is to come in contact with your community, with friends or family who you're comfortable with, and talk about the situation, not just make yourself isolated or feel alone.
That you are valued and loved regardless of what people say, and that's not to say that you're suffering or the stuff that's said against you, done to you, is just completely ignored. God sees that.
Few things that we can do in this regard is to teach each other how to love and to resist hatred, prejudices, and to fight for justice, and also educate them if possible.
If someone has faced discrimination, racism in life, I would say to him, man, turn yourself away from there. Turn yourself away from those people who discriminate against you. Focus on the people who love you, and they see you just the same as they see themselves. We are here and we love you, and we would love to make you a part of our lives.
Dear brothers and sisters, and my dear fellow citizens, hatred is never the solution. Let's educate each other, and we need to love.
Basically, have faith in God and humanity, and don't be afraid, lean on your friends.
Love. I think it's the act of giving selflessly, loyalty and genuine concern for the well-being and good of another. It could be like our fellow beings, our neighbors, or friends.
Love is the fact that someone sees you and sees you for what you're meant to be and what you can be, and puts themselves out there for you regardless of how you treat them almost.
Love encompasses the feeling of brotherhood, family, and a very empathetic sentiment towards the whole human race.
To me, love has many meanings and complexities of feelings. Besides a passionate affection for another person, children, as an example, fill parents with feelings of love. There's also love for God and religion, love for country of birth, love for a chosen sport, like the beautiful game, and a chosen sports team. There's also love for pets, travel, freedom of speech, nature, food, music, and other art forms. Love can also be negative in terms of vanity, selfishness, and addictions.
Love is basically, I mean, it could be anything. It could you be putting yourself out there for someone. It could be you lending a hand to probably an old man who wants to cross the road, or it could also be saving an injured bird on the road. You know, anything can be love. But I think when it comes from the heart and you put yourself after the other person, I think that's where the whole definition of love beautifully comes out.
Love in this context of discrimination is all about respecting each other. It's all about caring and supporting each other, valuing each other.
My thoughts on the song, I think it's simple and clear and straight to the point, which I really think it's important, especially during these trying times. And yes, love is the answer.
It's a very catchy tune, which put a smile on my face. It speaks the truth. Thanks for including me in your video, especially during the current difficult times we're facing every day. God bless.
And the song is all about we need to love, and this is what the world needs today.
I think the style of music is very apt and suitable to the concept of calling out to the whole humanity to be more loving and being positive to each other. It invokes a very nice and calming feeling.
And this song highlights the importance of love. It gives a clear message that we need to love, we need to come together, share love, show love, and take love along wherever we go. Because love is exactly what the world needs right now.
Part of the band, we were one of the first people who heard the song, and Achu has been great. The lyrics that he brought out in the song, the music, the whole flow of the song has just been so beautiful. It's so touching, so warm and so endearing, and it's so important in these times that we get to hear it, and it just shows that how much ever hate that the world is throwing at us, and how much ever that's going on in the world right now, all we need to do is we need to love.
It's really good. It's very apt for this time, regardless of what they look like, regardless of what they sound like. So thank you for the song. It was very touching. It was very encouraging to hear.
Yes, we need to love. Love for me it comes in all different small, big things in life. Most of all, we have to be appreciative of our life. You know, we're grateful. Just be grateful. And the most important part is love comes within you. The only thing that you can do is love yourself, appreciate yourself, value yourself. In that case, if you do that, you'll be able to share the love with everybody and just make that possible, you know, love each other, especially your family, and just be appreciative of life. And don't forget, there's someone big up there that's watching over us, taking care of us. So be be kind, be lovable, and most of all, share the love you have within you. And share the love.
Need to love. We need to love. We need to love. Yeah. We need to love. Yeah. We need to love.
Saklon ama kaubiraganu ngasi numidang pung 8:45 taba matamda adonggidamak sandokchagadoriba thoramda Rosie Hashnamdagi adomna khoidabiba isai kaya aikhogi number 7629943543 gi khuthangda khanbirakpaga loinana wari watai sanabiu ngaihat nungaina pothabiu.
Sina fare tan badinate ko asengba aina pamba darkar hoiba grocery items singda red delivery app sijanaraga order tawbira loire chaningba restaurant gi food po erasu overpay tawbudi laardana pot khudingma discount pibaga loinana khudakta inati yora isine red delivery for you.